Hello folks, I'm Dave Skocik and welcome to PR Delaware. Today we're shooting from the Delaware State News. We're using it as our shooting venue. You will meet the new publisher of the Delaware State News. And we will also talk with a veteran leader about a very good black tie dinner coming up on November the 7th to benefit our local veterans. And we'll also speak with a real French chef about another fundraiser coming up that I know you're going to want to hear about. We'll be right back. I've got with me today Paul Davis. Paul wears a number of hats. He is state president of the Vietnam Veterans of America. He's also vice president of the Veterans Trust Fund, an organization designed to raise money for veterans in need. He's involved in many activities having to do with veterans. Paul, welcome.
Thank you, David. It's a pleasure being here today.
I appreciate it. Today we wanted to talk about what's going on with the Delaware Veterans Trust Fund.
Yes.
So,
well, basically what has happened, we recognized in Delaware that we had a lot of returning veterans that were experiencing financial difficulties. Some of it was due to jobs being relocated and returning back from Iraq or Afghanistan. The job had been moved. And secondly, we have a lot of veterans on the waiting list to receive their disability. So in the meantime, they have a family to support.
Sure.
And in some cases, these veterans are unable to go out and seek other employment. So,
well, how did it start? How did the trust fund start?
It actually started, the Delaware Veterans Coalition has a great relationship with the Delaware Veterans Commission in Delaware. And we've had this discussion, what can we do in Delaware to help our local veterans returning? As a result of that, the Delaware General Assembly passed House Bill 85 that give the authority of the Veterans Commission to establish a Veterans Trust Fund. And obviously there was some seed money to begin the program, but the basic responsibility would be on the Veterans Commission is to go out and generate the money. So at that point, it was decided we would create a board of directors, which is now known as the Friends of Delaware Veterans Trust Fund Incorporated, a 501c3.
And I've got to admit that we collaborate on a number of these things.
Yes, we do, Dave.
And we're in the top spots of the coalition, which
Absolutely.
is why I wanted people to see and be aware of all the work that you do out there in the community raising funds.
Thank you. So based upon that, we established this board of directors of people well known in the community, well respected throughout our state. Our responsibility is to come up with ways to generate money and raise money that would be turned over to the Veterans Commission that in turn would help the veterans themselves.
Now, how much of the money that the trust fund raises, or the friends that basically make the trust fund work, how much of the money actually goes to the veteran?
Delaware is very unique. 100% of all donations go exactly into the trust fund itself, 100% of that.
And how can that be? Because other organizations that we see soliciting funds, very often only a small percentage goes to the fund itself that they're raising.
The reason we can do that is we have no overhead costs. We have no administrative costs like a lot of the other programs currently have. The administrative staff is actually now employed with the Veterans Commission, and they perform all those duties to make this work. So essentially, it costs the state of Delaware no money to promote this program.
And our board of directors work
free of charge.
Pro bono.
They go out and they solicit money and programs, and we work free of charge, and very happy to do that.
Now tell us about the big fundraiser that we have coming up in conjunction with Veterans Day.
November 7th, we're going to have our first gala, which would be a optional black tie, and it's $100 per person. It's going to be held at the Modern Maturity Center in Dover, Delaware, starting at 6 o'clock until 9. We have a guest speaker, and all the proceeds for that will go to the trust fund itself.
And our guest speaker is a former Army Surgeon General.
That is correct.
Lieutenant General retired Ronald Blank. So
That
we
is
were very
correct.
fortunate to get him, a man of that caliber.
Yes, and I look forward to hearing his talk that evening. He's going to be great to listen to.
So, and because we're a 501c3, there's also a tax credit when people contribute to the trust fund.
That is correct. Anyone who buys a table for $1,000 or they buy an individual ticket, we're actually encouraging businesses to purchase a table. You get eight tickets for the table for $1,000, and you'll get your name in the program
As a sponsor.
As a sponsor,
Right.
and your name will be on the table and will be reserved for your group.
And people can get more information via the website. Our website is our name, DelawareVeteransTrustFund.com. I want to underscore that.
Yes.
About sponsorships, about tickets, who to contact, all of those important issues about the tax credit, this sort of thing. So DelawareVeteransTrustFund.com, we want to let people know about that. So I know you're so very busy. Tell me about your role with the Vietnam veterans as the president of the state council.
Well, I'm currently the state president for the Delaware State Council of Vietnam Veterans of America. And obviously, I am a Vietnam vet, having served 2 tours in Vietnam with the U.S. Army. Very involved in a lot of veterans issues in Delaware.
Okay, and actually our chapter, the Kent County Vietnam Veterans Chapter 850, is the one that built the memorial park in Dover that people stop by. We have 3 events a year. Next one is coming up on Veterans Day, and that's where the big old helicopter is, the Huey helicopter.
Absolutely, that's our baby. It's a UH-1 Huey helicopter that was a lifesaver in South Vietnam, and we're so tickled to have that here in our state capital. And
Took you 2 years to get that, didn't you? You never gave up. Got it from Florida, from the federal government.
We kept working on it and finally came through, and it's really made a happy day for all of us Vietnam
And there's a
vets.
special decal on it that people put on there, the chapter did, because of your efforts. What's that decal?
Well, they put a mongoose and a cobra snake because a mongoose will never give up.
Never give up. You
And
never did.
I'm very persistent, so it's pretty obvious. I do my homework.
Well, we'd like to invite people to come on down on South Little Creek Road across from IHOP restaurant, check out the Vietnam Memorial. That's actually Kent County Memorial Park. We have memorials there not only from Vietnam, but also for Gold Star Mother and families. We recently commissioned one for the Korean War veterans, and we're working on one for the Middle East conflicts. Last 30 seconds, anything you'd like to say?
Well, the last thing I'd like to say, let's support our Delaware veterans. Delaware is known as the first state,
Amen.
and let's make this first gala a very successful event. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Paul.
Yes,
Take
sir.
care, brother.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back after these messages, but remember to check our website, DelawareVeteransTrustFund.com, about our gala on Friday, November the 7th at the Modern Maturity Center here in Dover. We'd love to see you there. Check us out. Hello again. I have with me now Tom Bird. He is the publisher of the Delaware State News. Until recently, that was Ed Doolin, who recently got promoted to CEO. He's still here, but Ed is very experienced, or Tom is very experienced, I should say. He's familiar with the operation, but you've come from Florida.
That's correct, Dave.
Well, tell me more
Okay.
about your role down in Florida.
Well, for the last 12 years, I was the president of the community newspaper group that Independent News Media Inc. USA, same company that owns the Delaware State News, operated down there. Been coming up here once a year for meetings and to sort of help out, and they asked me to come up here full time. It's a great area, love Delaware. 3 months here, and it's a terrific place to live, work, and play, so I'm happy to be here.
So you'll probably be here until you retire.
Well, don't get me there yet. There's a lot of work to do here.
wait and see,
So,
yeah.
but obviously, this entire central Delaware area, or all of Delaware, is an excellent destination for someone to retire. So I could see living here a long, long time.
Gosh, I've been here for a long time. I've always known the Delaware State News as basically the bulletin board for the community. One thing I've always liked is that you don't take editorial positions. Everybody's opinion is welcome, and you publish them on a regular basis.
That is part of our core value our company has had for a long, long time. I mean, I will tell you that Delaware State News, we've just finished last year our 50th year.
50th year?
60th year, excuse me, of publishing as a daily newspaper.
Really?
So our tradition goes way back, but our company value is just what you say. We do not take positions. We reflect what the community needs to know. We're very, very mindful that our core mission is support the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, help citizens understand what they need to know to make rational, informed decisions about where they live.
You know, one of the things that I picked up outside was, in fact, I've got a personal copy of this. It's about the founding of the Delaware State News and some of the characters involved with that, and I'm sure you're very familiar with these folks. You yourself came from a different background than communication or public relations. Tell us about your
I did. I have to concede I'm a native Oklahoman. I will say I've met quite a few of those people in Delaware, believe it or not, already. But I grew up in a small town in southeast Oklahoma. My father practiced medicine until he was 87 years old.
Wow.
But he was a Renaissance man, interested in science, so I pursued a zoology degree. And so that's my degree from the University of Oklahoma. However, I grew up in a family that loved newspapers. My mom subscribed to 5 of them.
Really?
So when I had a chance to get involved in the newspaper industry later, when I didn't want to become a full-time scientist, I'm happy to be doing it.
So if we were to stick it with something, you'd probably bleed ink.
I think you probably would. Right.
Not that we want
Don't
to
do that,
stick
though. Okay.
So I imagine that kind of a background, though, gives you a nice bit of knowledge, or a reservoir of knowledge to be able to work with the various kind of stories and people that you run into.
I suppose it
Scientific
might. I suppose it might. Right.
Well, I
So-
think it gives people a good appreciation. And of course, in Delaware, we're so small that everybody knows everybody, I think, sometimes.
I have learned this already in the town. I've only been here 3 months. It's incredibly welcoming to newcomers. I've gotten involved with a lot of my passions in terms of hobbies. It reflects those well too. Riding a bicycle, it's a tremendous place to do that, as long as you can stay away from the cars. But the agribusiness that's here, the agricultural traditions, it's phenomenal. Enjoy that on my bike rides.
So you mentioned that you were a bike rider, and so you were in the recent Amish
I did.
country
I'm
tour?
proud to say I rode 100 miles.
Oh my
It was
gosh,
106 degrees out there on someone's bike computer, but it was a great experience. And again, to see the beautiful fields, the orchards, the farms.
We have a great mixture here of
you do.
industry, of the beautiful rural countryside, of business, with the base. I mean, with the entertainment, and so many people say, gee, there's not a whole heck of a lot here, but we've got plays, we've got so many different cultural events. We've got a Dover Symphony Orchestra, and I know that you've got a lot of area to play in here as far as what goes in the newspaper.
There is.
You guys do a good job.
There's play, but there's the work, and
Yes.
that's the most important thing. That's why I'm here. And speaking of the area, I've just recently, been participating in the Leadership Central Delaware, which monthly
Tell me about that. I
monthly
noticed that.
sessions with a number of other area aspiring leaders and leaders who want to learn more about the area, become more involved. Involvement is such a key thing, and that's what I think really attracts me to a company like the Delaware State News, the community involvement that our company has already shown.
And it works 2 ways, because it builds your base out there, your credibility for the newspaper, which is wonderful. I know with the many activities that I tend to stay involved with, the outreach has been outstanding. for
Right.
the Delaware
I mean,
State
that's
News.
important for us. Unlike other companies, we don't have stockholders taking profits. There's not
That's
an
a key
investment
part,
company,
too.
so we're able to contribute to the community. I'm proud to say this wasn't on my watch, but under Ed's watch last year in 2013,
Ed Doolin.
the company donated over $135,000 of in-kind sponsorships to key community events, important civic activities. We were glad to do that.
That's another issue too. That in-kind really ties you to the community and the people that make the community what it is. To put another way, you're kind of the glue that holds the community together.
Well, we try to be. We certainly try to be. And it's always something, though, we aspire to do more. I think we're tracking to do even more this year with our involvements.
So do you find yourself walking through or spending time in the newsroom working with your reporters and others?
I do a little bit. I let them mainly do what they need to do, and because we're very much on purposeful neutrality. That's one of our values that's articulated in the book here that chronicles Jack Smith and Joe Smith, the founders of our company.
Yes.
We have a tremendous editorial team here. Andy West has done a phenomenal job. I hope the readers also notice over the last year that we've actually added to the news content that's in the paper. Again, separates our company because we are investing back into the community, providing readers what they need, even at the expense of profit in some cases, because again, we don't have shareholders, taking money out.
Well, that part, that focus on the community is so important, and I particularly like your column Out and About, where it's published
Yes.
sometimes twice a week with 6 pictures on a whole page. I've taken advantage of that a number of times, I got to be honest with you. But so many people say, hey, we saw this, and we saw your piece in the paper, we saw your organization, how can we support? But there's so many opportunities that you have, and you take advantage of to highlight the community.
Yes, indeed.
So, anything else that you would like to add?
Well, I think it's been an interesting conversation here, and like one I've had with many other people since I've moved here. There's a passion for the
Right.
area. I'm impressed with the people in Delaware. They love the area. And not every place can say that, so I really get that sense. I have a family here. I moved here with a family. That's important to me.
Real fast, tell me about your family. We've got about 30 seconds.
Okay, I have two children, a wife, Pamela.
How old are your kids?
I have a college-age son who's in college in Iowa. He's 20, and I have a daughter. It's in Dover High School. She's 17 years old.
Well, hey, it was so nice talking to you. Welcome to
Thank you
to
very
Dover,
much,
Tom,
Dave.
and we look forward to working with
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Have a great day. We'll be right back after these messages. Hello again. My guest for this segment is Ludovic Bazy, known to his friends as Ludo. He is a genuine French chef, born and raised in France, and he came here a number of years ago. He is a chef at Michel's at the Dover Downs. In fact, you tell me the name of the place you work at. I like your pronunciation better.
Yeah, I'm a chef at Michel's at Dover Downs Hotel and Casino.
Okay. So we're here today to talk about the Chef's Fight for Your Heart, which I found very interesting, and I'm somewhat involved in helping to promote it. This is the 3rd year that it's been being done, but tell me why you did this.
I did this to change the world. After the loss of my brother at the age of 48 of a heart attack, my brother left 3 kids behind him, and that's what made me wanted to do something about it, to change the world so it doesn't happen to any other families.
So what was it attributed to, his heart attack, and was it his first?
Why? It's malnutrition, stress. This is probably why he had it. And the thing is, there was nobody there when it happened, so he had no chance. And I think food is a big factor of a heart attack. As Dr. Brescia from Delaware Heart and Vascular would say, you have to exercise, stop the salt, watch your fat content, and you're going to stay healthier and have a better heart. And I think it's very important. Just like food education is so important to stay healthy. Look around, there's so many people unhealthy that make the wrong choice
Let me suck
every
in a little
day
bit here.
at lunch, Yeah. So you always think, what's for lunch, what for dinner?
Yes.
What are my choices? Take it seriously. It's it's just like a car, If you do put the wrong fuel in your car, it's going to break down. Your body is just the same way. And this is why we started Chef's Fight for Your Heart.
Now, do you have any other way that you reach out to people above and beyond this? Do you do demonstrations? Or?
Yes, with Chef's Fight we do demonstration, at home, at people's home. We gave to the American Heart Association because this event is to raise money for the Heart Association.
So you don't make any money from this?
No.
All the money goes to the...
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
And we give cooking classes to raise money to the Heart Bowl.
How can people find out about the cooking classes?
Oh, they
How
can
can they
contact
contact
me.
you?
They can go on my website, Chef's Fight for Your Heart, and
Chef's Fight for Your Heart. No apostrophe.
chefsfight.com.
Chefsfight.com. No apostrophe, just CHEFS fight.com. Okay.
Yes.
So they can reach you and have you come out. You cook for groups, you cook for families, or do you?
I cook for groups and families. We can work, anything's possible.
So if someone wanted to, say, create an event around healthy eating, they could just contact you and tell you what it is
Right.
that they're looking for, and
Absolutely.
you can arrange it or tell them what they need
Absolutely.
to do.
We can
Okay.
do that.
So primarily then, tell us about the Chef's Fight for Your Heart. When is it going to be and where?
It's on November the 8th at Harrington Raceway and Casino from 6 to 10 p.m. at the Gold Room. It's involved 3 chefs.
Okay.
Matthew Cornelius from Just Hooked, Ryan Cunningham, who is the returning champion from Abbott's Grill, you know, on Broad
Rapids Grill.
Creek
Okay.
in Lowell, and Michael Smith from Harrington Raceway and Casino. And they're all going to fight for the best healthy dishes. You know, the public is going to be able to eat. They're going to try 9 dishes. I mean, that's a lot, you know, 3 each, you know.
And they each get to try all those
Yeah,
things
and they
for
get
the
to, and
3
they
chefs.
get to judge too, the best,
Wow.
the best chef.
Now, last year, the theme was boxing gloves. We had Dave
Right.
Temperi down there, former world boxing champion. This year, it's going to be heroes.
Yeah, local hometown heroes. We're gonna recognize heroes, people that makes a difference in our community,
Yes.
people that save lives, people that makes other people better, you know. And this is so important, and we're so happy that we have a great team this year. And thank you to my wife, Anita, that really came up with that idea.
It's always important to have that wife to support us, I'll tell you.
She's wonderful.
She does a
she's
great job.
Yeah.
So it will be, so we have, in fact, I know being on the committee that there's already been 5 heroes selected from across the state.
Right.
And it's not just somebody who had to go in there and drag somebody out of a fire or anything like that. It's people who, as you said, make a difference in the community. So how much, what does it cost to do this?
It's only $40.
$40,
Yeah.
and they'll be able to try all of these different kinds of food. Now with the heroes, there'll be people. In fact, Lord, let me look at the camera here. What's this sheriff thing here?
You know, this is a new thing, you know. I'm the real food sheriff. During the event, I'm going to be there to make sure everything they serve is real. It's all food, no highly processed food. Another thing with highly processed food is so bad for you, then we're gonna trash it during the event.
So there's going to be some violence involved here
A
with the
little
food.
bit, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get some people, and we're gonna.
I know he's kidding, but there will be some.
It's true.
But we also are going to have people dress up like action heroes and such.
Right,
I know there's already been something in the newspaper about that. We had Wonder Woman, I
Yeah,
think.
she's gonna be there.
That's great.
Batman probably too.
Batman, wow, and I think a number of others as well. So it's going to be a night of fun and a lot of laughter, as well as a lot of education. And I know from last year the food is really something else.
And it's very great. I mean, while the chefs, they're gonna do a demo in front of everybody, and we're gonna ask them questions so that it's very educational. It's for all the public who's gonna be there. They're gonna learn a lot of things, and we're gonna tape it so that way.
Well, you're going to put it on tape?
Oh
too?
yeah.
Now, I think they can go on your website and see some clips from
Yes,
last year as well.
Yes, absolutely.
That is wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to add? But let's put the website up first so people can get a ticket, they can know about it. Tell me the day and time again.
It's
Day and date.
6 to 10 p.m.
Okay,
at Harrington Raceway and Casino.
on November the 8th, which is a Saturday.
Right.
And they can, then they need to, the sooner the better, because there's a limited amount of space and a limited amount of tables.
We're really starting selling tickets right now. It's going fast. So
Okay, very good. Is there anything else that you'd like to add? We're about to wrap up in the last 30 seconds.
I want, just like I said before, think what's your next meal. Make the right choice and eat fresh, eat all food, and teach your kid the right way.
Thank you very much, Ludo. I do appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thanks for being
Thank
with us
you
today.
for inviting me.
Sheriff.
Thank you. Yeah, real food sheriff.
We'll be right back. Take care. Folks, that's our show for this week. I would like to thank our guest. First, we had Paul Davis to talk about the Veterans Trust Fund dinner here in Dover on Friday, November 7th. Also like to thank our chef, Ludovic Bazy, a real French chef who has an event coming up on the following day, November the 8th, down at the Harrington Raceway, and we'll teach you about how heart-healthy food, but it's a great event. Please sign up for that. And I'd also like to again thank the Delaware State News for hosting us today, particularly our new publisher, Tom Bird. Take care. I'll see you next time.